Hey there, Delmarva. Hope you are staying safe on this very crazy weather-wise day, but thanks for joining us this afternoon. We're your hosts. I'm Paige Marley.
I'm Leah Rizzo, and yes, did you have the wind? I think was really what was getting me, especially because I got sort of a tall vehicle, so as I was driving in this morning, I was going, woo, woo.
Yeah.
A little to the right, but I know we had a lot of school delays this morning, so hopefully everybody got to school, work, and back home safe.
Definitely, yeah. I do want to make a call out to, I don't even know who this would be. Maybe we could get a couple more streetlights.
Yeah.
Please, even when you're driving, even when it's not nighttime, you know, when the clouds and things are so dark. I was driving in to work this morning and hit such thick debris that I didn't even see because there's no street lights. So I don't know whoever's watching that can make that happen. My request is on Coastal Highway going north. I could appreciate more street lights.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, there you go.
Perfect. That's all I ask. I'm a simple woman.
But yeah, sort of weird this time of year. We're getting that warm weather, these sort of severe storms, but like I just want one big, awesome snow.
That's what I said. And everyone's like, snow, ugh.
Everybody says that. And I understand that like 3 days after the blizzard and like all the snow gets gray and gross and everybody's like, I hate the snow. But I'm like, that one moment of snow, peaceful bliss where everything's just quiet and soft and pretty.
It's the best. And there has to be some sort of scientific explanation I don't know about, but when it snows like that, it tends to be a little warm. You know, like you can almost walk out into the snow, not playing in the snow, but in like just a light jacket. I don't know if there's some sort of science-y reasoning, but I love that feeling.
I think it might be just like the padding of snow, like the reason that it actually does get quiet, like actually like recording audio outside when it snows, you actually get some of your most like crystal clean audio because it's so compact that like it really does quiet ambient sound. So maybe it's like that.
It's like when Kylie Jenner was saying that she can't film in Kim Kardashian's house because Kim has no furniture. Kim has no decorations.
Yeah.
So she's like, it's really bad. And she goes, it's loud in Kim's house.
So funny.
Yeah.
I bet.
In case you were wondering about that and needed that information.
But yeah, if you want to record some great audio, go out when it snows. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yes, exactly.
But one thing that kind of got us talking this morning when we were prepping for our show today, we saw this thing on TikTok about rat snacks. And we've heard of girl dinner. We've heard of all these different kind of trending types of snacking, styles of snacking, and now rat snacks is sort of the currently trending snackage where basically people put together like random things, random snacks in their house to make them, I don't even really want to say edible, but edible.
I'm a big rat snacker, huge. And when you first said it, rat snacks, I'm like, well, that's insulting. Then you explained what it is, and I'm like, oh no, that's me.
Yeah.
And it's gotten so bad to the point where like I won't eat dinner because I have a rat snack all day. So what I've started doing is I don't buy snacks for my house anymore. I'm strictly like an ingredient household. I have stuff to make a meal, but even then I catch myself, like I will eat dry pasta if I just walk by the pantry. I've been known to take like a little shot glass and scoop up some dry rice and just eat out of that. It's so good. And then I go in and get the pickles and the olives, and you don't believe me? I will bring it in.
Dry rice?
I will show you how I eat my dry rice. No, it's really just dry rice, but or I eat the dry rice while the rice is cooking, you know? Like that's the snack.
Undercooked rice, that's what you want?
Yeah. I prefer it cooked, but you know, whatever. But yeah, I think yesterday I had ravioli, which was a meal, I guess. But then it was like a drumstick, then French toast sticks, then some olives.
Yeah.
Just a little,
because I'll usually grab stuff too, like while I'm cooking, as the ingredients go in, I'm like, well, just a little taste of this, a little taste of that. But yeah, definitely like your olives, pickles, cheese, like I'll graze the cabinet for things like that. One user said that they put together like chips and vinegar and ate it with a spoon, and they were calling it chip soup.
That I would do.
Yeah.
I would do that.
So I don't know that I'm a rat snacker. I think I am more a girl dinner than I am rat snacker.
That's fair. I think my girl dinners are my rat snacks.
I think they are kind of one and the same.
They can be.
Like I think one can be the other. I think maybe like rat snacks can also be girl dinner, but girl dinner is not necessarily a rat snack.
It's like how they say a rectangle is a square,
but a square is a rectangle, or whichever one it is. You know what we're saying.
I remember learning about it. I never remembered.
Yeah, I think a square counts as a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square.
Sure.
That's what it is. The one thing I maintained from math class.
If you're in 5th grade, let us know what the answer is. Yes. If you're trying to kick that bad habit, though, this is just what I found works for me. Because again, huge rat girly over here is get a big fruit bowl, a pretty one. Like I went and picked out the prettiest fruit bowl I could find, and I fill it with fruit every week. And so that way, my rat snack is clementines and apples and things like that. So that's
healthy
helped.
snacks.
That's helped a lot. Yeah. But I can't kick my other bad habits, Leah. That's something else we were talking about today. Do you have some habits where you're like, I'm going to work towards this, I'm going to fix them, and you do? And then other habits where it's just, you're not going to fix them. Do you have anything like that?
I mean, like one physical habit that I've had my whole life that like when I was little, people were like, oh my gosh, you have to stop doing that, is walking on my toes. That was one that I feel like as I was growing, people were really concerned about, that they were like, oh, what if the feet don't grow right or whatever it was, the Achilles tendon being shorter. So far, I have yet to experience any problems with that. So I continue to walk on my toes. But I have developed the bad habit of hitting snooze.
Same.
Multiple times every morning. I used to be so good about like hopping out of bed. First sign of the alarm, I was like, I'm ready for the day. And even when I was working mornings, so like that wasn't the schedule that was bothering me. I don't know. I think it was the first time I moved out on my own, and I just like wasn't feeling it, and so I hit snooze, and I have never not hit snooze since.
I think it's like a schedule thing almost. Like I know for me, like same thing. I won't change my schedule up. Well, that doesn't make sense. Here's like an example. After work, what I love to do, which you guys all know, sit on my couch, eat, read a book, or watch a movie. That's it. And then I rot in the couch. And I've been trying to like clean up before I do that instead of after I do that.
Smart.
I can't change my ways. Every day I go home and then I see my recliner and I'm like, I'll start again tomorrow. It's just a thing.
Yep.
And maybe I don't need to change it because it's not killing me.
Yeah, the big old beanbag chair that I have every day is like,
that thing's the best.
Come here.
She's one of those massive
beanbags. It's huge.
And
it's just, especially like sometimes it's flipped better ways than others. And like when you just sink in perfectly, so you're like cradled in like a little sleeping bag bassinet kind of thing. Oh,
I'm so jealous.
But yeah, I feel like I have just, and depending on how much sleep I get the night before, like if I have a really good night's sleep, I can get out of bed and I'm like, I'm ready to work out and do my day. But then the next day, if I don't get any, like a full night's sleep, I'm like, snooze. Snooze, snooze, snooze.
In my opinion, if it's not hurting anyone or yourself, if you're smoking or drinking too much, fix those habits, right? But if it's a habit that, you're just hitting snooze a couple times, but you're still making it to work on time,
we're all in it together.
Don't be too hard on yourself. Whatever.
We have a good show for you coming your way. Our field correspondent, Maya Henry, is going to tell us what's coming up on Coast Life.
Coming up today on Coast Life, is your home in need of a good deep cleaning? We have some tips to keep your living space feeling fresh and clean. And in need of some much needed inspiration to awake your creative side? Join us as a local artist shows us how to transform simple materials into captivating art. Plus, looking for ways to help your local community? Stay tuned as we dive into an event that helps save lives. All that and more when Coast Life gets back.
Coast Life is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, Shell Brothers, and the Parker Group.
You're watching Coast Life, and after maybe all the holiday parties and all the fun that gets a little bit messy at the end of the year leading up to the new year, your house may need a little bit of a spruce up, a little clean up here and there, and maybe even thinking of some things that you haven't thought of. And our friends at Heather's Homework supplied us with a couple of tips and tricks, things that you should look at and try just to make sure your home is healthy for the new year. Things like cleaning those air filters.
Yes, you have to. Isn't it every 3 months depending on the air filters and system you have?
I think depending on the system you have.
Important.
But it clears out, the pet dander and dust and a lot of things that can really irritate those allergies.
Those are so important. I had an air filter behind my bedroom door, which I never see because it's behind my bedroom door, and I waited a little too long to change it, and when I did, it'll be a great reminder of change your air filter.
The dust had eyes. It was like, it was looking back at you.
And you're like, ooh. No, the other filter, though, you got to change, which I have not thought about this, probably since I moved into my apartment, the dishwasher
Never would have thought of that.
Who knew? I thought the dishwasher doesn't need to get cleaned.
Yep, little like rubber seals and parts in your washer dryer, and even just giving your fridge a general clean out. Any food that may be expired, and maybe just wipe down your fridge. All some things that you don't really think about the bacteria that could be living there. Having a grand old time.
Yeah, sorry to dump all this on you, but You gotta clean out your fridge, especially with those holiday leftovers maybe that you still have.
Yep, a couple of things that maybe didn't make it to the table a second time.
That's right. So these are not, I know, don't take our word for it. This is all tips, like Leah said, from Heather's Homeworks. This isn't, I've admitted I'm messy before. I don't need them being like, Paige, you're messy. Why are you telling me what to do? These are all great tips from Heather's Homeworks, who we love so much.
Yes, and if you do need your place cleaned, our field correspondent, Maya Henry, is going to introduce you to Heather's Homeworks if you haven't met them yet.
Marking 20 years and awarded Best Cleaning Company in Sussex County by Coastal Style in 2020, 2022, and 2023 makes Heather's Homeworks the perfect company to have your home spick and span. Servicing year-round, Operations Manager Lexi Santa Barbara lets us in on properties they service in Lower Eastern Sussex County.
Heather's Homeworks is a residential and commercial cleaning company that services the Lower Eastern Sussex County. We mainly service year-round residential homes, seasonal homes, and commercial properties.
House cleaning remains a chore for many, making a custom cleaning service the perfect option.
Something that we pride ourselves on is making sure that we create a customizable plan for every customer. Somebody might need something that somebody else doesn't, and so we want to make sure that we cater to that as much as possible. So we're able to educate our cleaners through work orders for every single customer that gives it very exact directions, where the customer lives, specific instructions about their home, their pets, the pets' names, so that we can create a good relationship with our customers as well as inform our cleaners as much as possible.
Heather's Homeworks not only provides customized plans, but customers will also receive a particular cleaning professional who services their home on a regular basis.
When a customer comes onto our service, we provide them options as far as scheduling. So they are assigned a particular cleaning professional, and that's who services their home on a regular basis. If that cleaning professional isn't available, we will make sure that we brief somebody else so that they're as informed as possible. But we really pride ourselves on the client-cleaner relationship.
Residential cleaning remains their largest division, allowing customers to enjoy spending time with family and friends.
I would say that our largest part is our residential division that we service year-round, whether that's on a monthly, bi-weekly, or weekly basis. And then we also service seasonal homes, private seasonal homes that are utilized May to September typically, because they have better things to do to spend time with their family and enjoy the beach. So we kind of take care of their home for them. And then commercial properties we typically service on a weekly or bi-weekly basis during business hours.
In addition to making homes sparkle, Heather's Homeworks improves the lives of many with their partnership with Cleaning for a Reason.
It's a nationwide charity that helps provide cleaning services for people who are undergoing cancer treatment. It's a very hard time in their life, and the last thing that they really have energy for is to clean their homes. So it's a way that our cleaners can give back to them and provide that service.
If someone you know is in need of this service, don't be afraid to call their local office for free cleaning services and discounted services after. Giving back remains an influential part of what Heather's Homework stands for, giving back to many within the community.
Heather, the owner, really encourages us as a team to be very involved in our community and give back to those that support us every day. So we are really involved with the Chamber of Commerce, Bethany Fenwick, as well as the Delaware Center of Inland Bays, the Breast Cancer Coalition in Delaware, among some other charities every year like Santa's Letters.
If you or someone you know is looking for a caring and dedicated cleaning service, Heather's Homeworks is a perfect choice to bring ease to your everyday life. There's more Coast Life on the way.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by Heather's Homeworks.
Well, did you guys know that this month, January, is Blood Donor Month?
Very important month.
It is very important. And to talk a little bit about the history and the importance of this month, we have one of our friends, Tony Prado, with the Blood Bank of Delmarva, back with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Paige and Leah. You ladies look terrific here in the new year.
You're so sweet.
It's great to be here.
This is why we love having him.
We love having Tony.
And you're right. National Blood Donor Month, it's a big deal. And I'm happy to be here to talk to you about it. It's amazing. More than 50 years ago, President Nixon and Congress had the wisdom to enact National Blood Donor Month because they knew, kind of like we saw last night with this rainstorm, this winter storm that was crazy. It's a time when donations can plummet because of inclement weather. people staying home cozy by the fire. You can't blame them. My kids are off from school today. Why do we got to work? You know? Oh my gosh. And so it's about raising awareness about the need. The need is constant, but we have a special message this National Blood Donor Month, trying to get people to get it into their heads, raise consciousness about the need for blood. And so we have a few ideas.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about that then. What can we expect from you guys this year?
So number one, we're trying something new. So when you look at the numbers, they're kind of bleak. America's blood centers ran the numbers. 62% of us here in the U.S. can donate blood. Only 3% of us actually do.
Oh, wow.
And so that's pretty bad to begin with. But we thought, what if we asked people to donate once per season? So that includes here in the wintertime, spring, summer, autumn. If that happens, believe it or not, we would never be in a situation where we have to declare a blood emergency. We're not in a blood emergency locally. I just want to say that the Blood Bank of Delmarva is still supplying all 19 hospitals in the Delmarva Peninsula with the blood products they need. However, just a couple days ago, the American Red Cross declared a national blood emergency, and that can have a ripple effect. So we're keeping an eye on that. But so far, so good. And the whole point of National Blood Donor Month is to avoid getting to that situation.
Of course.
So here we are.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people, everybody hears about the importance, the need for blood, and they think, okay, I want to donate. But a lot of people maybe don't know if you have to go to an event when you guys team up with a lot of local businesses or centers to do blood donations. Can they donate blood anytime?
Yeah, they can. So we are operating 6 days a week. Sometimes we have a rare Sunday blood drive, so that's 7 days a week. And it's real easy to make an appointment. Go to delmarvablood.org or call 1-888-8-BLOOD-8. There's a lot of 8s in there to make it easy to remember. And it's some things that you need to keep in mind are that the reasons for transfusions are various and sundry. You got cancer patients, you've got anemia, sickle cell, or thalassemia major. You also have scheduled surgeries, knee replacements, hip replacements, and we also have a fairly new program that we started last year with Sussex County paramedics, and they have added a new, incredibly life-saving wrinkle to the fold, and they're transfusing out in the field.
Amazing.
That's incredible.
So and that was credit to Director or Chief Robert Murray, Dr. Cowan and Jordan Dottoli. They said, you know what, we could save more lives if we have blood out in the field at a bad car accident or whatever the trauma was, and that's making a difference as well. Means that we need to hustle on our end because we're one half of that partnership, and so we're asking more people that are O positive to donate blood. I believe you're O positive, Paige, so you could be one of those people that helps out our own Sussex County paramedics here in Sussex County, Delaware. That's right. And it's a great program. So that complements the life-saving work that they're doing at the hospitals. Whether it's Tidal Health, BB, Atlantic General, Bay Health, you name it. And it's not going to come from anybody but donors. It's not something that we can produce synthetically in the lab, and people need to take time. And like I said, if people just donate it once per season, whole blood, that would make a big difference. We're also trying something else new. If you're a double red cell donor, like myself, which means you can donate every 112 days instead of every 56 days. If those double red cell donors did twice a year, that would also go a long way towards solving and preventing these blood shortages that pop up all the time.
Fantastic.
And it really isn't as scary as you think.
Just takes an afternoon, really.
That's right. The first time I went, I don't think I ate enough. You learn your lesson, but you
do have to eat and drink plenty of food and water. Yes,
but they do take really great care of you there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sometimes that happens, but we're glad that you didn't give up on us.
No.
All you got to do is hydrate, eat well. Think of it as the opposite. Like if you go to get lab work done, they're going to ask you to fast. But with us, we tell you the more you eat, the merrier.
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
And hydrate well, and that's going to make for a better experience.
Yes.
So thanks for not giving up on us.
Oh my God! Well, they just take such good care of you, so we're happy to help. Well, thank you for telling us about this. I really hope this encourages some of you to make your appointments today. It is so easy to make an appointment and sign up. Done it multiple times, like I said. So, Tony, thank you for all you do for us.
Oh, my pleasure. It's great to be here as always.
Come back anytime. And hey, coming up, we're not done showing appreciation just yet. Did you know this week had Law Enforcement Appreciation Day? Coming up, we're going to show our appreciation for a local law enforcement officer. Well, every day, especially here on Coast Life, we love to just give thanks and appreciation for all of our law enforcement. But Leah, did you know this week actually had Law Enforcement Appreciation Day?
That's right. So we're a day late in celebrating, but we're getting there.
Better late than never. You guys know we have a lot going on. So we wanted to bring in one of our favorite local officers. We have Officer Cisco back on the couch with us with Rehoboth Beach Police. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Did you have a good Law Enforcement Appreciation Day?
I did. It was very nice, especially with the students and staff at Rehoboth Elementary.
Nice.
The staff wore blue all day yesterday,
Aw,
and then I got a
gosh.
couple cards and some pictures from some of the students. It was a very nice day.
Oh my
Very
gosh, I
nice.
love that. That's incredible. So if you don't remember, Officer Cisco works with school kids during the school year. Then you'll see him on patrol in the summertime and all of that. Can you just remind us what you do for people who maybe don't remember or they didn't see the episode?
Sure, yeah. So I'm the school resource officer for Rehoboth Elementary School. I'm employed by the Rehoboth Beach Police Department, and my job, day-to-day activities, is I go in the school and make sure everybody's safe, protect those kids, protect the staff, and make sure I interact with the students and make sure they have a good day.
Yeah. Perfect. So important right now, especially.
Yeah. And so things like, the cards, the staff wearing blue, those were just a couple of little ways to show appreciation for law enforcement.
Sure.
What can maybe the general public do to show our appreciation and support for you guys?
Sure. Well, honestly, people who get in public service, whether it's fire, police, EMS, doctors, teachers, we don't really get into the job because we were expecting thank yous. There's a passion in us for public service. And for law enforcement, we serve the community by protecting the community. So the best way is just, if you see an officer out and about, say, sir or ma'am, I see you, thank you for what you're doing. That's the best way to do it.
Simple and sweet.
Yep,
Maybe
absolutely.
don't break laws.
Sure, that always helps
that's
too.
a good one.
That always helps too.
No criminal activity makes their days
Follow the rules.
so much better. Yeah. I'm assuming.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. I was curious because I was letting you know, going into work, especially this morning with the storms, things like that, what does it look like for an law enforcement officer? How does your mindset change when you know something dangerous like a storm is coming our way?
Sure. So the one thing we like to tell people is, especially like a nor'easter like this, high winds and driving rains, try to stay off the road as much as possible. If you have to go out for something, just be careful out on the road. And we try to prepare for anything that happens, especially with the high winds last night. Could cause tree limbs to come down, cut out, knock down power lines, which causes a huge hazard for not only us, for drivers on the road. So we try to prepare for that and keep everybody safe and away from those areas.
That makes sense. Perfect. Do you guys do anything for each other on Law Enforcement Appreciation Day?
Maybe just buy each other a cup of coffee.
Okay,
maybe
nice.
buy some lunch for each other. That's about it. Nothing too crazy.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea, that too. Of course, if you see an officer, you want to buy them a cup of coffee. I'm sure they appreciate that always.
Sure. Not necessary, but it's appreciated.
Definitely, definitely. I do just want to give a little shout out. You brought your kids in today.
I did. Yep. Mason and Peyton are here today. What's up, boys?
They're absolutely awesome. I would just love to know too, law enforcement can be a scary job. It definitely, obviously, a dangerous job. How do you balance the work life, the family life, and what you do?
Sure. Well, like you said, the job can be stressful, can be dangerous. So as hard as I work, I try to have as much fun on the opposite side too. So whether it's with my boys, or just three of us, we're taking a Jersey trip this weekend to go see my family.
Nice.
Or if it's with my girlfriend and her two daughters, the six of us doing something fun. So we try to have as much fun as possible. And then when I work, it's all about work.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's why we love having you on, to see the different sides of law enforcement.
Sure, absolutely.
A lot of us can only interact on when we made a mistake.
Yep. The little whoopsie
No worries.
moments.
I'll forgive you. It's fine.
When you go a little too fast on the way into work and they come up behind you. But other than that, so I just love talking to you. You're such a family man. We love having you on. And
Yeah, thank
just
you.
sharing
Appreciate
that.
it.
Of course. Well, we appreciate you, and happy Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Right.
Thank you very much.
A couple hours late, of course.
No worries.
All right, we'll have Officer Cisco back on here, of course. For right now, though, stay where you are. We have more guests coming your way. If you keep up with our Facebook, you know that you guys have been actually not arguing in the comments.
Yeah, this one seems to have a lot of agreement, but I think because everybody has such strong feelings about this, a lot of you participated in today's great debate.
That's right. Normally it brings lots of opinions, and you guys are arguing, and Leah and I start fighting, and I start crying. Just kidding. It's not that bad, but it's always a little controversial. Today, though, we're talking ketchup.
Yes.
In the fridge, in the pantry, and we're not done yet. We're talking toilet paper. Over or under?
Ugh, yes, and see, I bet immediately you had answers for these, didn't you?
We
So my initial thought, my knee-jerk reaction on ketchup, I was like, store in the pantry, refrigerate after opening. That's what the bottle says to do, right?
I think so. I've never read the bottle.
That's what most of you said in the comments, was saying, refrigerate after opening, but it was Donald that came up with he said, in the pantry, restaurants don't refrigerate it. And I was like, that's an excellent point,
fair,
Donald.
Yeah, because we were like, yeah, everyone's with us, fridge. And then Donald made a good point.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I could see, I'm not really a big ketchup fan to begin with, so I never have an excessive amount of it on anything, but I could see if you're weird about I don't want to say texture, but maybe temperatures, that if you've got hot food and cold ketchup, sometimes I like the hot-cold combo.
Me too.
So it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But maybe I could see that might hurt your teeth if you have cold sensitivity.
I'm going to say ketchup belongs in the trash. There's my hot take for you.
Good one.
I just don't love it.
I don't love it either, but I'll say in the fridge.
Yeah. Toilet paper. I'm over.
Oh, only over.
Have to.
Over is the only way.
Unless you love struggle and you want to make yourself mad in the middle of the night trying to go under and find the
I feel like it always, especially if you have cats, you know, the under will just make it a lot easier for them to scratch it up, make it go. But I think pretty much everybody said over. And then Carolyn said too that she's the one that changes it if it's already under. If it's somebody else's house, the toilet paper's under, she hates it so much she'll even flip it.
I think this is the one thing that everyone agreed on.
I think so.
Everyone said toilet paper over.
Yep.
Okay. We're not going to fight about this one.
Although Marilyn said she didn't care which way the toilet paper goes, and I have heard that. There are some people that just don't care. They're like, oh, you're overthinking it, but it's just not as convenient.
It's not as convenient, yeah. We have a lot of really great debate topics coming your way. We have so much fun compiling a list, but if you have anything you want us to talk about, you can always email us. We did get an email from a viewer, Mike, recently with a lot of opinions that we appreciate. Some of them were he didn't like when people say a ton.
Yeah, they were mostly some linguistic pet peeves, I think. And so a ton was one that he was like, don't people realize how big a ton is? And I think, part of the fun thing about English language, I think we love hyperbole. We like to be over the top and say a ton when we obviously don't really mean a ton.
Right.
The same reason that people would go it's literally the worst. We know that it's not literally, but you're just saying it because now that's how our speech pattern works.
Exactly.
Speech changes.
He also doesn't like bruh. When people say bruh.
Bruh.
I'm sorry. I say all the time.
Sorry, Mike.
I say bruh a ton of times.
I do too.
You see what I did there? Sorry, Mike.
A ton of times.
We love you. Though. We do.
Love you.
No, we do love hearing from you guys. So don't forget to email us and tune in. And again, all these topics are posted on our Facebook, so you can get crazy in the arguments right there.
Coming up next, though, on Coast Life, remember a few months ago, we introduced you to a local artist who taught us how to paint a lovely beach scene. Well, we're going to do some more painting with her on the way. Coast Life. We changed, but we changed for a good reason because we're going to be getting a little bit crafty later on the show. But first, we want to reintroduce you to a guest that you may have met before. Remember back in the summer months, we did a little, almost a paint night kind of thing. We had Ashley DiMeglio outside with us. Today, she's joining us in the studio. Welcome, Ashley.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's nice to have you inside.
Yes.
To be here.
It's a little too windy outside today to paint outside.
Yeah,
Yes, but you may also notice that our shirts aren't the only thing that changed here in the studio. We also changed out these tables because these beautiful tables on the end are tables that you have painted yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
It's incredible.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about this because what I love is you really took these tables from something like this to what we're seeing over there with the turtles on it. What got you started in this?
Well, I started painting on canvas, noticing that a lot of people were saying to me, oh, where do I put my canvas? I don't have the wall space. So I started looking around my own house and looking at things that didn't quite match in my home. So I was thinking, you know what? I can change that to match my walls. So I've been seeing a lot of people actually doing drab to fab and just upscaling all their furniture and making it match. So I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna try this. So I took what I was doing from canvas and doing it onto furniture.
Awesome, I love this. I'm so excited because I also like to paint on canvas and I've been thinking, I'm like, man, I kind of want to get into painting old furniture. So this is just hitting right in the inspiration, you know? But you kind of mentioned that drab to fab moment. So is this sort of the kind of thing that, people could do themselves if they wanted?
Oh, yes, sure. This is one of those things you just go out to your local hardware store, a shop anywhere that has paint shop, And you can literally just get a couple of tools, grab an old piece of furniture. Maybe your friend wants to try it too, or you just grab it. It's a couple steps. It's really easy to do. Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
Not anyone can paint these.
Well,
birds.
yes, the herons are beautiful,
Yes.
so
This is
we
so
may need to
incredible.
practice before we get to that.
Yes, definitely. I mean, the detail on this is incredible. Did you have any difficulty switching from canvas to something like a table?
The only thing is the materials were a little different because you have to use, like on canvas, you can use oil or acrylic. And I was used to using acrylic.
Sure.
So acrylic doesn't really adhere to the glossiness of a furniture piece.
Writing that down, good to know.
Yeah, because a lot of people like to put like the furniture outside, you know, or a covered porch, but it's still gonna get moisture. So you have to use a whole bunch of different things like a wax to make sure that it adheres and make sure it's in the elements, it works.
Yes.
But that was the only difference. But a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll just do them plain or use a stencil. So you don't have to make a whole masterpiece or a painting on a piece. You can actually just buy a stencil, sponge it on, and just put wax over it, buff the wax off, and you've got a piece of artwork.
That's incredible. I would love to touch on that though, because you said some people could use a stencil, but you hand draw everything we see here, the turtles, the herons. That's absolutely incredible. How long did it take you to get to this point?
Well, I've been doing art for a really long time, so it's just freely I'll just draw or put something on a canvas or of course the furniture. I mean, it's just something that I do. But I have used a stencil before if I need a shell
That makes
or
sense.
something, or if I need to do something that I'm just like, well, I could do this fast.
Yeah.
Instead of spending hours on it.
That makes a lot of sense. But for the pieces that you do spend hours on, I mean, these are beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
We live on the coast. We know a lot of people would love to have these in their home for people that see these and want them and maybe don't want to do the work themselves. Do you sell these?
I do. I sell them at a lot of fairs.
Perfect. So we know to keep an eye out for Ashley
Yes.
at lots of art fairs and maybe make one of these beautiful pieces your own. Don't go anywhere though, because coming up we're going to try out painting one of these bad boys ourselves. Ashley's going to guide us through it a little bit here, so stick around. Before the break, we were talking with Ashley DiMeglio, a local artist who has painted these gorgeous tables that you see before us. And you were walking us a little bit off air through the process of how these tables kind of come together. So whether they're thrifted pieces or you're kind of upcycling pieces that you have in your house, what are some of the steps to get started if you want to go from something like this to something like that?
Sure. The best thing is to go out, find your piece that's going to fit your space. This is a side table. So what I love to do is get the high gloss off of it, because your paint's not going to adhere to it unless you sand it a little bit. But unless you pick up a piece that doesn't have a high gloss on it, you'll be fine.
Okay.
There are a lot of paints, chalk paint, that actually goes in on really smoothly and adheres really nicely.
Nice.
That would be my suggestion for a first starter, is a chalk paint. There are oil based that are a little bit longer to dry. The chalk base actually will start to set within 20 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
But I would leave it probably for a day before you go and display it out onto your
Makes
home.
sense.
That makes sense.
So the first step would be to get yourself a sander. Now, a lot of people will use a machine. I like to do the hard way.
Okay.
I like to go ahead and use just hand do it. I don't know. It gives you a little bit more like appreciation. Like I did that by hand.
Yeah, very true.
So you just go out to your hardware store, get one a sand. You can even use paper, but they make these really amazing. Just it looks like a sponge, and you just go ahead and you sand the surface, and you just kind of make sure you get the whole top. Now you got to do the legs, and you don't really necessarily have to do the bottom, because honestly, who's gonna pick up your table and look underneath it?
Hopefully
Makes
nobody.
sense.
Yeah, hopefully nobody.
It's the kind of thing that, you know, your mom asks you to do before guests come over, and they're like, did you clean the bottom of the table?
Just in case.
Yeah.
Is there a certain like grit you have to buy when it comes to sandpaper?
There are so many kinds of sandpaper.
Why can't?
You could just, this was inexpensive. It's just a block. It is right in the aisle of your local hardware store.
Perfect.
Very easy to find, a couple dollars, not a lot of money.
Great.
Easier than paper because you don't hurt your hands. And that's all you do. And then actually what you would do if you have a sponge or an old t-shirt or something, you could just go ahead and get the dust off of it.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want to have that dust, little bumps in your paint.
And you didn't wet that sponge, right?
No,
Okay.
it's a dry sponge. You would use a dry t-shirt
Okay.
and just kind of do that.
Dust it all off.
All right, perfect.
The chalk paint, basically, again, if you have a high gloss, I would do this. You can just go ahead. If you're doing this for your first time, you can just go ahead and go and paint your furniture. It'll be totally fine. All right, and then a lot of people will put like wax or to kind of make it just waterproof in case you drop your coffee or something on it.
Makes
Happens.
sense,
Yeah.
as one is want to do.
Yes.
So here we have is the chalk paint. And you would just get yourself a nice roller. I actually, for the legs, I'll do just a regular paintbrush.
Okay.
I like to do a small one.
Makes sense.
Yeah, if you do a big one, it's gonna be a little bit like streaky. So it kind of adheres better, goes straight across when you use a roller. Just like when you do your walls.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right?
perfect.
So just go ahead and roll this in there. Make sure you have a really nice plate.
Yeah.
Some people actually use paper plates for this.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes I'll be all over the place.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So-
I want to keep it clean.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's why we have our Fitzky Brothers t-shirts on.
That's
just
right,
in case.
keeping us safe from the paint.
Yes, safe from the paint. So, and then you just go ahead and you want to do one coat to start.
Okay.
Okay, so this is just like doing your walls.
I already
So
love the
just
color.
yeah. It's a nice gray color.
And since you do this, if people reach out to you and they're like, Ashley, I want a side table, I want a cute gray one with turtles on it, but I don't want to paint it, you'll do this for them?
Oh, yes, I'll definitely
great.
do that for someone. And they just have to reach out, and I would love to.
Yeah.
It's just, so the first layer is always going to look like this, and then you'll be a little bit like, oh no, what's going on with my painting? But you know what? Whitewashing is in, and people do the distressed
True.
look on the
True.
side.
Yep, that's true.
So a thin layer is actually really nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after you do this, you just do another layer, and the layer will dry. And if you want to kind of scuff up the sides, you get out your trusty sand paper or your sand block, and you go ahead and you do the sides, and it'll look like a distressed look.
Cool.
Amazing.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
And can you show us some of the other things you brought with us too? Because we talked stencils.
Sure.
Yes.
You freehand
For
most of
us,
your stuff.
yes, that are artistically challenged.
Yes. But you could use something like what you have right over there, right?
Sure. So after this dries, I would give it about 24 hours before you start painting or stenciling on it, just so it has adhered to your item, unless you look at it and you go, oh, I need another layer. So you can go out and just buy items that you can trace.
Perfect.
So in a stencil, it's very easy. You just go to a craft store. Let's say your decor is birds, or if you're into butterflies, you can go ahead and just buy the stencil. Go ahead, put it on top, outline it with a pencil. And I actually use acrylic paint for that. But you do have to use a poly spray so that it actually stays your artwork on top.
Makes
I did
sense.
that's why this one's shiny.
Gotcha.
A poly
Okay.
spray.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm remembering all this. Like,
Learning.
I'll
I
be
know,
able to just
taking all these notes.
whip this out one day. Yeah.
You could also use wax.
Okay.
And it's almost like waxing a car. It's basically like that with furniture wax. And you
Gotcha.
can go ahead and apply it, very thin layer, and then you wait, and then you just go ahead and you rub it off. And it'll become very water resistant if you use it for a coffee table.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. I'm so excited. I want to
You
try
make
it
me-
myself.
Yes,
I
you make me
know.
feel like I could try this. I know I probably shouldn't, but I feel like I could.
We love it. Well, Ashley, thank you so much for coming
Thank
in,
you
not
for
only
having
sharing your beautiful work, but giving us some tips and pointers and encouragement to maybe try this ourselves.
Yes,
thank
yes.
you.
If someone's interested, where can they find you and keep up with you?
Art by Ashley Jean. I can be found on Facebook. I have a
Awesome.
Facebook page.
Art by Ashley Jean. You got it.
You got it.
you.
All right. Well, Ashley, thanks again for coming in, but we do have a little bit more Coast Life to get to, so stay right there.
All right, Coast Life, before we let you go, just an interesting fact if you haven't heard about it yet. I didn't know until a coworker told us. The 2024 calendar is the exact same as the 1996 calendar.
Yes, so I had seen some stuff about this online because people were posting about how if like you somehow held on to or kept like the 1996 calendar with like your favorite celebrity of the time on it, you could still use it because all the dates are the same.
So interesting. And actually, these 1996 calendars are selling on eBay right now for hundreds of dollars.
Isn't that wild?
I know. I'm trying to figure out, like, maybe it would be cool. I was born in 1996, so maybe I would like to get one of those calendars.
Yeah, maybe
I
see
don't
a
think
cool
I'd
one.
pay $300 for it. But
Yeah.
you know, whatever you want. If you're a calendar girly or a guy, Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I guess, and I think for your birth year, it would be a cool thing to have.
It would.
And like just a cool thing to hold on to. Like maybe you could frame it later. But
That is kind of why I'm low-key thinking about seeing if there's one for less than a couple $100.
There you go.
Yeah, but otherwise, I think that's a fun fact. I never really thought about that it doesn't happen that often, that it lines up. Is this year a leap year?
I feel like I saw somewhere that it is, but I can't guarantee that offhand, unfortunately.
Same. I can't remember. I think it is. I think it is.
I think it is too.
I'm going to be really embarrassed if we're wrong.
Yep.
Oh, well.
But if not, just keep an eye on that in case it is a leap year. But
You
yeah.
never know. But yeah, I guess it was a leap year in 1996. So there's your fun fact for the day that you could share with your coworkers and your family.
That's right. Coming up tomorrow on the show,
Yeah.
we've had lots of fun today, appreciating all of our law enforcement.
Yes.
We love Officer Cisco. Coming up tomorrow, though, it'll be Thursday, so we can look forward to spilling some tea with our friends at the Spice and Tea Exchange.
I know you guys have some family drama that happened over the holidays that you want to email us about. Don't forget, we leave your names out of it. So send us if anything crazy happened or your kid is having drama at school. We will dissect it and we will leave your name and email and contact info out of it. We don't even know. We don't even look at that. We just look at the story.
That's right. Yeah, we just want the tea.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes. Email team@coastlife.com if you want us to dissect your tea.
It is time for